All
Yep.
right, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. After Christopher Robin abandons them for college, Pooh and Piglet embark on a bloody rampage as they search for a new source of food. Doing this review is only me and Andrew,
And we couldn't,
two-person review.
yeah, we couldn't convince our friends to come see this one with us, so we're throwing it
Yeah.
back, just us two on this one.
Yeah, and this is the part usually when I read off what the Rotten Tomato scores are. When we got home and started recording this episode, they weren't on there. They are on there now. The critic scores out of 4 reviews, and there's actually no score there. But audiences, fewer than 50 ratings, gave it a 60%. That's where it's sitting at right now.
Wow, so
If I
you're telling me
refresh
that
it,
that is higher than Ant-Man?
currently higher than it. Oh, hold on. I just refreshed it, and now it's
Okay.
20% critic score and a 52% audience. So it's starting to
All
fall a little bit.
right.
Yeah, so this movie is a limited release, we should say that. And it just came out February 15th, which is the day we're recording this, Wednesday.
Yep.
So, I'm sure by the time you listen to this on Friday, these scores could be completely different on Rotten Tomatoes. But, this is how we do it on Small Guys. We get it to you guys right away. So,
Yeah. And not only that, but this will be one of our shorter movie reviews to do because
only
this is
two of
not a
us.
long. Yeah, it's only the two of us, and this is also only an hour and a half exactly.
Yeah.
So it was not a long movie. I'll kind of start us off. It is what you would expect for a horror movie featuring Winnie the Pooh. It's not good. It's not
Yeah.
very good. Unfortunately, that's just. But I will say, so I actually thought about this in the movie, Josh. I'm not sure what your thoughts. I think I might have liked this more than Knock at the Cabin. Is that
Really?
bad? I think I might have. Like, I
I don't know
think
if it's bad. Like, I don't think that's a bad thought. That's not that's not a bad take, honestly. Because
it, I was sitting through it and I'm like, okay, this has no plot. Like, it's horrible.
yeah, okay.
But we mentioned this right before we were recording. The kills in this are brutal. Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't look that great. Like you can tell that there's some cheesy Photoshop and stuff going on, but
Mhm.
at a first glance, they are gross. And the things that they do, Pooh and Piglet run someone over with a car. They throw someone in one of those like
Like a wood chipper.
yeah, wood
Okay.
chipper. Oh,
Yeah.
and to give like in a normal horror movie, they would throw someone in that thing and they would, jump cut it. No, not in this. They like
Yeah.
make you listen to the noises and it's spewing out blood and guts. And I'm like, oh, gross.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know what movie I was kind of thinking of? Let me ask you this. What one
Yeah,
did you like more? Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, or Halloween Ends, which we did a review on in October?
I like this better
I
than
think I like
Halloween
this
Ends.
more.
Yeah, so
Isn't that
did I.
nuts? Yeah. So, and just for
I
reference, you gave Halloween Ends an 11. I gave it a 30. So
okay, yeah, no, I actually hated that movie. Like I was
that's pretty forgettable. I was just thinking about that too. I was like, compared to that, this was a
so
better movie.
that's the thing with this movie. I don't know if it's that forgettable. I don't think I'll ever forget this movie just because it's Winnie the Pooh as like a serial killer.
Mhm.
Um you're not going to get that out of your mind. And don't get me wrong, like Winnie the Pooh was really hideous. Like they did not. I the one thing I will say I wish they would have done, and I know it's like, it's a joke film, but I wish Piglet would have been a little bit closer to his like Piglet
Instead of a
self.
warthog.
Yeah, yeah, that
He's
was
an
the only.
adult version, though.
I know, but I would have liked to, or maybe throw him in some pink,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
something to give me a little bit more Piglet. But I mean that's just me because Pooh actually had on his red. He had a red shirt on. I mean, I think it was a flannel and
Finally, yeah, he's
yeah,
just like a farmer.
and some
Overalls.
suspenders.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some
which
bibs.
is yeah, it's a interesting look he
Yeah,
had
because
going
so
there.
so the masks are real and they're not animated at all, so they don't really move.
Yeah, I
There are
could.
points where Pooh is like eating honey, right? And it's just a,
Mhm.
a guy in a mask shoving honey in his mouth for a good 45 seconds. It goes for a little bit. Um, yeah, and it kind of explained this part of it. Like, wait, how are they able to do Winnie the Pooh movie? The public domain went away, I believe, a year and a half ago. So basically, now you can use Winnie the Pooh and Piglet in pretty much any movie you want, right? So they immediately got to work on making this slasher. Um,
Of course. What else would you do?
yeah, yeah, and then the old movies, Disney movies, Christopher Robin, that character, is friends with them, and then he goes away to college, comes back, they're friends again, everything like that. In this movie, Christopher Robin leaves them to go to college, and then they become hungry because Christopher Robin was their only friend, feeding them. He'd steal food out of the kitchen at his house and then bring it to them and feed them. Yeah, so now they became hungry and they killed Igor and ate him. And then like there's other characters too, like the owl and all this other shit that we don't really get to meet, but they're like we see the animated versions at the beginning. And basically, yeah, they just became blood hungry, ate them, and then now they kill people. So
Yeah, and another thing that this movie ends, and I mean technically, geez, I hope not, but they set it up for a sequel. They could have another one if they really
IMDb
wanted.
has a Winnie the Pooh 2 already on there. So that
Do
could
they
be fan.
really?
Yeah, that could be
Okay.
just a fan that did that, but they left it open.
Yeah. And like you said, there's some other characters that we didn't get to see that they could toss in here.
Tigger.
Um yeah, we didn't get to see him, so he could get thrown in here.
Yeah.
But the other thing was that it was brutal when Christopher Robin is, chained up and tied up and he's being whipped, and then Pooh brings in like the skeleton of his wife and
Are they
just like
whipping him with his wife's hair?
I think so, yeah.
I thought so too. Okay, I wasn't
And
sure
like
completely.
this is a pretty sadistic movie, and then he's showered in blood.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's meant to be crazy, but like there were just multiple moments from like, oh, that's disgusting.
No, and that's why this movie is going to be really hard to rate because it's almost so bad that it's good because like the acting is like porn level acting, really
Oh,
bad
it's
acting. There is
horrible.
no plot. Yeah, but the whole point of it is you don't go into this movie expecting a multi-million-dollar budget, action, or like Oscar worthy stuff, right? You don't expect any of that.
Yeah.
It's a movie about, your childhood characters that you loved who are now serial killers, slashers, right? So for what it is, like the action side of it and the kills, like we just said earlier, were crazy. Like when that girl gets the machete through her mouth, coming out of her
Oh,
throat, like it's so graphic. Like there was points where I was like, I couldn't even look at the screen. It was so crazy.
yeah. No, they definitely got really the creators of this movie got really creative with the kills, and they did not like a movie like this, like you just said, actually being low budget and not having high expectations for it. I expect that the murder scenes to be like cheesy, like
Yeah,
just a stab, but no, these were gruesome, and they
each
I
one.
mean they spent that's where some of the budget had to have gone,
Yeah.
was into the effects of each of these kills, and you're just sitting there like, oh my God, I think that adds. Was this rated or was this not even rated?
I think it was R, but I don't even know if yeah, I'm not even seeing a rating
Okay,
on
I
Rotten
figured
Tomatoes
it.
or IMDb. So,
I figured it probably just wasn't even rated.
hmm and that's the thing is, I wouldn't recommend anyone to see this in theaters.
No,
But if you're
probably not.
curious about trying to watch it, I would just wait until it's on a streaming platform. Um, because it made me laugh probably more than some comedy movies. Genuinely, like it made me
Yeah.
laugh a lot. I think you were laughing too.
I was laughing, and actually, we should mention this. We just saw this the night as we're recording this. We saw this night it came out. Like we said, we had a
Yeah,
pretty packed theater for
we
this
did.
movie, which was
Oh,
kind
and
of
shout out to the
surprising.
Spooky Boys too. They're there. Go
Yes,
listen to
yes,
that. By the way, again, go listen to their episode with us on it. That was really
yes.
good. But
Cedric
yeah,
and
they
Rob were
joined
both there.
us. Yeah, they saw it, and I think they enjoyed it too. It seemed like they had fun with
Yeah,
it for what it is. So.
yes, yes. But no, this is one, like I said, zero rewatch value. I will never rewatch this movie.
Would you see a sequel?
Probably. Probably.
Dude,
And I
it'd be so cool to see it like make a bunch of money and like fuck Disney. Like that'd be so cool, but it's
so
not.
I have a question. Do you think, because supposedly Mickey Mouse is supposed to be in some sort of situation next year, January 2024? I don't know if
Or
it's
look them
to the
in.
degree of Pooh, if the whole like I think it, from my understanding, it was only the Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I could be wrong on that, so I could be wrong. But do you think if it is the full Mickey Mouse, do you think that someone will go create a slasher with him too?
I think so, dude. I could see things like this happening. I mean, I told you too. I think Batman becomes in the public domain in 2034. So
So by then, maybe we Small Guys Podcast will produce a Batman film.
yeah, we'll have Mike dressed up as Batman and be Batman. Well, like, so apparently the way it works is like they can't make an animated version of Winnie the Pooh too similar to what Disney did, because then that is copyright still,
Yeah,
even though the character's public domain. So, but them doing a slasher of a realistic, real Winnie the Pooh, they get away with it. So I think it was like it is kind of a genius idea. I mean, it's funny. Again, like they weren't expecting to win anything, make a ton of money off it. Like it's just something fun. Like it felt like a fan made thing you could find on YouTube. Honestly, with the acting and plot, there's no
it
plot.
it did. That's a
Yeah,
good point, actually. I'm curious to see.
and they're all British too. They're in the UK, I believe. Um,
So, do you want to guess the budget on this film? I just looked it up. Don't look it up.
I 200,000.
Less than 100,000. It doesn't even say. It
Oh
just says
wow,
less than 100,000.
and they made over a million already.
Oh yeah,
Like,
without a doubt. So they'll definitely get their money back, which is cool. Uh, and they deserve it. I mean, this is this is very different
it's
from
crazy.
anything else. Yeah, it's crazy.
No, when we walked out, I said I really don't know how I'm gonna rate this movie because it is so bad that it's good. Like
Yeah,
again, I was cracking up.
I
It
have a
was fun.
score in mind that I'll give it.
We did also go see it with Cody, who's been on here before. He did leave when there's 20 minutes left. He had to go pee, and then he decided it's not really
Yeah,
worth it to walk all the way back, which that's fair.
yeah. You know what? I can't even blame him on that.
Would you have left if we didn't have the podcast? If I just convinced you that let's go see this movie, would you have wanted to leave? Because I don't know if I would
Uh,
have.
no, I think I would have still seen it all the way through.
Okay. Well, because like think about it,
I
right? We
really
paid.
wanted, I really wanted Pooh to die.
I did too. Oh, Piglet dies.
Yeah.
Rip. Um. Yeah. I mean, because we paid $13 for the ticket, and then I got popcorn and a slush, and that was another $15. So I paid almost $30 for this experience.
You're a madman.
But it is only in limited theaters for a limited time. The theater by us, there was one today at 7 p.m. and then there's one tomorrow at 7 p.m. and then that's it. So we got to say that we saw Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey in theaters with quite a big audience.
It
Do you want to talk
was
about the
actually.
light thing at the end?
Oh yeah, yeah. I can.
That is
So
funny.
normally, if anyone listening, obviously, I imagine everyone that's listening has been to the theater at least one time in their life. Well, you know that as the movie's ending, you watch the movie. Usually, the lights come on with the credits, or most of the time, depending on the movie, after the credits, even.
Yeah.
Not Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. The lights came on to the theater. People are laughing with like 2 minutes left of screen time still going, and the lights are on. People, now everyone can see each other. Everyone's kind of giggling. You can hear it in the background, but yeah, that's definitely something you never see in the theater where they turn the lights on with the show still rolling.
Yeah, they called it. And there's a point, and this is why it was really cool kind of watching with an audience. So there's a point where these four guys get out of this car and they start beating this shit out of Pooh, right? And he
Not
takes it
really.
like he takes it like
Yeah.
a tank. Yeah, he does not react to all their hits. And there's a crowbar and a bottle being broken over his head, nothing. And even a bat to the knee, nothing was messing him up. And then so he raises his hand up in the air and slashes some guy's arm off. And everyone in the audience was like, "Oh shit, here we go!"
Yeah.
Everyone like it was like really cool. Like it wasn't like a movie where it's like be quiet, or anyone's cheering because it's an Avengers movie. No, it's like, oh shit, here comes Winnie the Pooh. He's gonna fucking murder these guys gruesomely.
Yeah. And what's really weird is like you weren't even on the side of Pooh really ever, except maybe at that point, because you knew that those guys that were coming up were going to get killed, and you kind of were just anticipating the Pooh beatdown. You wanted to see
Yeah,
Pooh go to work there.
yeah.
And I want to compare something here. You actually said it. You said Halloween. I think I like this aspect of like a big beast murderer better than Michael Myers. My reasoning is that Michael Myers in the movies is supposed to just be a regular guy, but somehow he has like superhuman strength. He just is
Nine
unfazed all the
lives.
yeah, unfazed all the time. Where like I can get behind that when it's Winnie the Pooh because it already doesn't make sense that this guy, this half bear, half human beast thing
Yeah.
is unstoppable. I can actually wrap my head around that more than just like some regular guy that's big and tall.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
don't
and they
know.
really got it like a sicko. I mean, the same guy wrote, produced, and directed it. Um, Reese Frank Waterfield is his name.
Okay.
But they got a real sicko to just sit there and come up with like sadistic ways for him to kill people
Yeah, for
because there's a
real.
ton. Like you said with that torture scene.
Oh
I mean,
God.
it's Winnie the Pooh torturing Christopher Robbins, tied
Yeah.
up, slashing. I mean, I thought I'd never see the day
And then the like I said, the skeleton of his wife is there. And you're just
watching
like,
him.
oh, this is just brutal, the whole thing.
Yeah, and you know they ate her ass.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, so I don't know. And they're I mean, the characters are so dumb. Like that girl who's in the hot tub, she literally sees Winnie the Pooh in the background, gets out, looks around, and gets back in the hot tub because she doesn't want to let him ruin her hot tub time.
Well,
That's nuts. You
yeah.
literally see a bear slash human in the woods, and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna get back. And she got
Um,
like she laid back and shut her eyes, and
yeah, I think it was actually one thing to add on to her character. I don't remember any of their names. I'm
yeah,
sorry. Like
and there's no way anyone.
yeah,
There's Pooh and Piglet.
but the blonde girl that's in the hot tub, I think it was Cedric or Rob from Spooky Boys. One more shout out for them.
Mhm.
That mentioned that there's a scene with her taking pictures in a room and like there's no I mean talk about no plot that literally that scene they could have completely cut that like and I mean like not even a nitpick but like that had zero significance at all
Yeah.
unless I missed something and Pooh was there or something.
No, and I like the main girl had a stalker, so I get maybe why they put that in there so they could, think that maybe Winnie is the stalker or something. At first before they actually get a good look at him, I
I
guess.
thought they were going to tie in another character with that.
I did too. And like there's a whole therapy scene too, which was kind of pointless also.
Yeah.
I mean, this movie was only 90 minutes, but they could have cut it down to like an hour. I mean, I don't know. You would just kind of wait for the next kill because each kill was really cool.
I wonder if there's a threshold. Like if the movie was if you notice it was exactly 90 minutes. Maybe if it was like
Yes.
under 90 minutes, then theaters wouldn't have even showed it. So
Maybe.
that's why they were like just throw some stuff in there so we can hit that 90-minute mark so we can get this. I'm just making that up. I don't know that for sure, but that's my
Yeah.
theory.
Yeah, I mean that's possible, especially with it being like a fan made thing, basically.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, dude. It's I mean, this technically is an indie film, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, and it blew up too on Twitter and YouTube. It's funny because when I got home, I looked up the trailers and stuff, and on YouTube they're like 9-10 million views. Like
Yeah, it's getting
everyone was watching the shit. So I'm curious to see once it's done being in limited release and when it comes out to the public, the worldwide public, how well it'll do on streaming platforms.
you think it'll hit a streaming platform? Is someone picking it up?
Maybe, or maybe it'll just be on Amazon where you have to rent it. But
Okay.
I don't know. I could see this thing ending up on Netflix though. Like it wouldn't shock me. Uh, because like I feel like there could be a cult classic with this, like a cult following with it. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
maybe. Yeah.
Like I said, it's so bad it's good, and I don't know. I mean, like we said, it already made 10 times more than what the budget was, so there could be a second movie. There could
Yeah,
very
there
well be a
really
sequel,
could.
which is that's crazy to say. I don't know how they do it, but not that they
Yeah,
really need much of a
now
story.
that you said that, I've kind of gone into this review without a score, but now I have a score in mind.
Okay. Well, no. So everyone listening, we want to mess with TikTok and Instagram, and so me and Andrew for the next 45 seconds to a minute are going to pretend like we love this movie, that it might be movie of the year stuff, everything like that. See if we can trick anyone. So for the next minute or so, take everything we say with a grain of salt. It's not true at all, and then we'll get an actual rating afterwards. So this for the next minute or so is not real. We're just messing around. So Andrew, go ahead.
All right, so yeah, now that we're getting into scores here for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, dude, this was an awesome movie. Like, I'm not sure why people are giving this flack and they're saying like, "Oh, I don't want to see it." It's gonna be a stupid slasher. No, this was like actually a solid movie with a solid budget. I think the budget was like $75 million, which is crazy.
Yeah, no,
Um,
and I think it's about to beat that. And honestly, like the last 20 minutes is so emotional that it literally had me crying because I mean, I don't want to get into spoilers, but like, yeah, with the main character and everything like that, and the score, dude, the score was amazing.
yeah, no,
I mean, honestly, like, I know it's only February, we're really early into the year, but so far, I'm pretty confident in saying this is movie of the year for me. With it not being like a
that's
big
bold.
studio,
That's
it is
bold
bold,
to
but
say.
like, dude, it's so good.
It's good. Movie of the year. I mean, it is really. I think it'll be a top three for me, if I'm being
Yeah,
completely honest.
honestly, because like, it's it's not this big budget, crazy like Marvel movie, right? Or Disney even, with it being the
70,
Winnie the Pooh character.
75 million though was still more than I thought it was going to be.
More than yeah, but nowadays movies are 200-300 mil. But yeah, dude, I don't know. It's crazy how good this movie is. Like the emotion
We'll
and
do quick scores
comedy.
here. I'm giving 96 out of 100.
Dude,
Like,
honestly, I think I gotta go 98, 99.
really?
It's so
Okay.
close. Yeah, dude, I'm in between there because it was so good.
Okay, I agree.
All right, guys, that's it. That's not none of that was true.
Yeah,
Uh
no, that's not true. If you're actually listening,
that'll be
if
a
you're
funny clip
watch,
though.
yeah, if you're watching on YouTube and you can actually, I don't know if it use this in speakers, so you can only see who's speaking, but we are actually holding back laughs as we were saying that. I had to look away from the camera when Josh said that the score was beautiful. The music, actually, that's something we should add in, was horrible.
Yeah, there was one point where there was music from the Winnie the Pooh like animated stuff, which that was kind of cool,
Okay.
but it was only in like one scene, and so yeah, the score was shit. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, so we'll get into actual ratings here. Do you want to go first?
I'll let you start. I have a score in mind already.
Okay, I it's tough because I enjoyed the experience. I won't ever watch it again.
Keep
I
in
wouldn't
mind,
recommend someone watch it.
actual budget, under
It
$100,000.
is impressive. And again, his goal was to make a ridiculous, cheesy, sadistic movie about
Yeah,
a childhood, cartoon, right? So it's like you got to give him credit, but it's like compared to all the other movies we rate, I am gonna give this one a little higher than what maybe you'd think. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go in the middle of the pack. I'm gonna give it a
okay.
50 flat because again,
Okay.
this movie's hard to rate. Are you going higher than that?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna go 50 flat because like there are movies like Halloween Ends, which I give a 30. I did enjoy this more. Again, though, no, there's no acting at all. I don't even know any of the characters' names really, outside of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet and Christopher Robin, of course. But like the acting sucked. The plot, there's nothing. There's no plot at all. But the kills were really cool. It had me laughing. It had me excited for the next kill. I was just along for the ride for whatever it was. So like we base these off our own enjoyment. So I feel 50, like it's so bad it's good, right? So sometimes it's just nice to go watch a movie that's shit, but like it's
Yeah.
fun. So 50s, I feel like it's a good score. I still, again, I enjoyed my time. Go watch if it's on a streaming platform, it's on Netflix or something. You're bored
Watch
one
it
day, go watch
once.
it. Yeah, watch it. So you go
All
ahead.
right. Well, yeah, I'll finish this off. Unfortunately, we don't have the other guys here with us today. I'll hit it with my score right off the bat. I am going with a 59.
Okay.
Right under giving it like that D rating. It's still an E, but just almost there. It's almost there because a couple factors. One, like I said, I was trying to itch you on to get your score up there a little bit. Under 100K budget.
Yeah.
What movie
Yes.
today has a budget even under $1 million? That's like unheard of. So
Yes.
under 100K, okay, I got to give it a little bit of credit for that. Too, like we said, the kills in this are brutal, and the effects are cheesy-ish, but the thought and the sadistic like process that had to happen to make these happen is gross, and I think it gets a little credit for that. The fact that this movie is entertaining you're like you said, Josh, you're looking forward to that, like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Or like what I said, when the four guys get out of the truck and you're actually rooting for Pooh. Like
Yeah.
it's not even that you want to see Pooh win, but you just want to see him kick some ass for some characters that you care even less about than the girls that you don't even know their names of. I mean, these people just four dudes in a truck show up.
Yeah.
I will say that, like, I mean, if it's a cheesy movie, one moment that was really, really stupid to me is when she runs over Pooh and somehow he climbs in the back of the truck. And I'm like, okay, come on. And then he somehow gets on top of the truck and she slams on the brakes and it just cuts to Pooh is fine and he's killing her friend and he's ripped her in half and
Ripped
is
her
just
head
holding
off.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he gets on top of the truck and he's bashing in that windshield
Yeah.
and he's not making a dent. And I'm like, I just saw this superhuman like slash someone's arm off with his hand.
Yeah, now he can't get through a windshield. That
Yeah.
was probably
Can't even
because
crack it.
they didn't want to spend the money to actually like crack a windshield.
They did blow up that car.
They did, yes. They did
And
actually
so
do that. That was probably half the
yeah, so
budget.
this is a unique movie. Clearly, like we said, streaming platform or something, maybe check it out. At least skip to the kills. Watch it on YouTube, maybe.
It's an hour and a half. You can spend your time watching this.
Yeah. Again, I'm just saying maybe it wasn't worth the money we spent, but like it was the experience. Like I will never experience Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey in a
Exactly.
beater packed of
And
people.
and that's what I said. That this is one that you won't forget.
Yeah. No, we will not forget that we saw
You won't
this.
forget that.
We'll forget the plot because it didn't really exist, but so
Yeah,
that's
and
that.
any of the characters' names, because do they even say? I feel like they shout their names like
Alice, I
one
think, was one of
time.
them.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
I know
sounds about
Christopher
right.
Robin and then the two,
Yes,
okay,
but I don't even know if
that's
they
it.
say all their names.
Yeah, I don't know. I know there's redhead, there's blonde, like four brunettes that I kept forgetting which brunette was what.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember the names too, but like they just die right away. As soon as we got some screen time with them, they die. So, um, yeah, I don't know. We're back Tuesday though. We're doing Old. It's on HBO. It's M. Night Shyamalan's last movie before Knock on the Cabin. So
That's
we're
one that, without spoiling that review, I mean, you'll listen to our scores and everything, but that's one that I would at least check out while it's on HBO.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're doing that Tuesday, and then next Friday, a week from today, when this episode comes out, we're doing Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So you'll see what our thoughts are on that. We mentioned it earlier this episode. We're a little worried about the scores, but we'll see what
Yeah.
happens where the cards fall. So, but yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Download, do all that stuff for us. Go check us out on YouTube. See us laughing
Yeah.
while we're trying to fake that
Subscribe on
TikTok.
YouTube, comment on YouTube.
Yeah, go check out our TikTok and Instagram too for that clip.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, thanks for
All
listening.
right. See ya.
See ya.